Hey everyone, this is Claude Johnson from the Black Fives, and guess what? I'm back with another episode of, let's call it Claude360. That's what people seem to like from last time when I made up that name for this new video podcast series that I'm putting on here. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I recently turned 65 a couple of weeks ago. And when you turn 65, you're official. It means you can say kind of whatever you want because you made it this far. A lot of people don't get this far. And just want to say, first of all, I'm grateful, I'm humbled, and I feel privileged and just blessed to have gotten this far. And so I really appreciate the opportunity to share some wisdom and insights and also just information and background on not only Black Fives, but also me as an individual, as a sports dad, as just a person who wants to share. So I mentioned in an Instagram post that I did around the time of my birthday that I have all kinds of topics that I want to share about. And so I wanted to talk about life, life tips, life lessons, my book, the Black Fives journey overall in terms of how it started and all the things that we're doing and that we've done in terms of the experience. And guess what? I also want to talk about being a work from home dad because I'm the first work from home dad ever to get a global sneaker deal. So I'll talk about that. I'll talk about the sneakers themselves. I'll talk about the history of the Black Fives era, the teams, the players, the venues. And I also want to talk about the artifacts and the milestones and some of the achievements that were recorded during that time, as well as our own education goals, why we're doing this in the first place, the partnerships that we have, the brand itself and our new collections and all of that. Why am I doing this? Why am I even talking about this at all? Well, because I've been doing this for like 25 years. I've been doing this since the 1990s. And at that time, when I first founded and organized and created the brand, it was a labor of love, but also it's turned into a business, right? And we have a nonprofit. We also have a for-profit arm of the business, and that takes that type of longevity takes quite a bit of I would say effort, energy, stamina, and ultimately it requires wellness, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to be right when you're talking about or undergoing a long-term effort like this. So speaking of wellness, one of the things that I talked about on my Instagram post on my birthday was whole self wellness. And within whole self wellness, I'm talking about food and nutrition and eating, right? But also, first want to say I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a physician, I'm not a sociologist, psychologist, any of that. I'm just sharing from my own perspective as me, as an individual, and what's worked for me all these years, but also what's worked for my sons, because I'm a sports dad and I've been a sports dad, and now I have 3 sons who all played Division I sports as student athletes, football and basketball. And I'll tell you about them in a second. But I first want to say that, I'm 65, I'm 6'2", I'm 210 pounds, I feel good, knock on wood, every day I feel like you just got to say your prayers and be grateful and just keep doing what you're doing, right? My oldest is Cassius, and Cassius played cornerback at the University of San Diego, where he won 4 NCAA Division I conference titles in the Pioneer Football League. He's now at Merrill Lynch in New York City. Very proud of him, and he's doing great. My second son is Cornelius, and he played wide receiver at the University of Michigan, where he won 3 conference titles, Big Ten championships, and 1 national championship with the Wolverines before being drafted into the NFL, and he's now with the Packers. And of course, we're wishing him all the best to be ready, stay ready, and then ball out when his turn comes. Just go crazy. My youngest son, Carnegie, opted for basketball, and he played point guard at the United States Naval Academy for 2 seasons before transferring this past summer to New York University. He'll be playing at NYU as a rising junior this coming fall. And so same thing with him. We're wishing him all the best. Stay ready, be ready, do your thing, ball out. And we're super excited that he's going to go crazy as well. Now, we've been practicing this mindset because it's really a mindset and a lifestyle of what to eat and nutrition since my sons were kids, right? And so the first part is just hydrate, okay? Drink water, not juice, not soda, just water, because we're like 85% water. Humans, okay, are like mostly water. So that should tell you something, okay? Don't wait till you're thirsty. Just drink water whenever you feel off, or just any other time. Whenever you remember, just drink water. Always have water with you. Avoid bread, chips, crackers, all right? You can look all this up, but basically it's too easy to binge off of those. It's too easy to be sitting there binging on a show while you're eating a box of crackers or a whole bag of chips, like every night, okay? You need to stop it. Just stop that. Don't eat cheese or eggs or even any dairy, honestly. Sure, a pizza slice here and there, scrambled eggs, but just stay away because that stuff is not good for you. You don't have to trust me, just read up on it. But speaking of that, also try vegan if you can, because even if you don't stick with it, you're gonna learn all the different foods that have protein, high protein and high nutrition. Okay, so try it, just try it. Trust me, you're gonna be better off if you even just try it for a little while. Stay away from sugars. Okay, oh my God, sugars, high fructose corn syrup, sweetened liquids, sweetened foods. They put like high fructose corn syrup in everything, even bread. Why do you need sugar in bread if it's other than just to get you addicted, right? So stay away. Just first of all, read the labels and then stay away from that, okay? I'm not even gonna tell you the effect that it has on your pancreas, the insulin production, the drop in insulin, what insulin does to inhibit your fat digestion, so you're just going to gain weight improperly. Just don't eat sugar. Don't put any sugar in anything that you eat, okay, ever. There's plenty of natural sugar in everything else. Don't eat just artificial foods, processed foods, additives, chemicals. Just stay away, man. It's your human body, right? This is your gift that you were given, okay? So just why put toxins in there, okay? You know what I'm saying? Alcohol, I'm just gonna say stay away, but of course, every once in a while, like who can resist, okay? A shot of tequila, a nice glass of wine, a good beer, whatever the case. But honestly, like you don't really need that, to be honest. You'll just be better off the next day. And if you're constantly drinking alcohol, it's going to be really hard for you to go to the gym, work out, do the drills, the reps, or whatever that you're trying to do every single day. I'm not saying don't ever do that, and there's people who have higher tolerance or whatever, lower tolerance. You know for yourself what's right, okay? So just keep at that level and stay disciplined. That's the bottom line, okay? Don't get thrown off, okay? So what can you eat instead, all right? So instead, just find organic sources of food, whole foods, okay? It could be Whole Foods, it could be Mom's, it could be Aldi's, it could be some other grocery store, it could be your farmer's market, whatever. Just try to get as much food that's like whole, meaning like holistic. Don't go on a wild goose chase. So if you're out with your kids at some tournament or at a practice in another town or at a clinic or a camp or whatever, don't go there and arrive after 10 and all the restaurants are closed, and now you have to go down to the lobby and all that's left is Skittles, right? Or like Domino's nearby. Like why do that? Okay, just bring your own stuff, bring your own snacks, bring almonds and bring fruit, dried fruit, bring bananas, bring apples, bring stuff that you can rely on the next day. And ideally you'll have some places to go where that you don't have to chase around. So maybe there's a nearby market, Whole Foods, maybe there's a Starbucks. We used to go to Starbucks all the time just for the oatmeal, because in the end of the day, if you're in a pinch, get a bowl of oatmeal with everything. It's got nuts, got blueberries, it's got whatever, and it's got nutrition, and that's enough to fill you up in a healthy way without consuming a bunch of empty calories, right? Chipotle, that's a go-to, okay? Because you know what you're gonna get. You don't have to snoop around and figure it out and wait for a waiter or whatever, okay? And then Kava is another choice like that, okay? And you might have your own places that become your staples of where you go to, okay? I already mentioned snacks, superfoods. You can bring dates, you can bring, almonds, whatever it is, just raisins. Like just bring things that you can carry with you and you can eat on the go, okay? We've used Forks Over Knives. That's a book and a website. You can take a look at that. Younger Next Year is really important if you want to sort of like build a strategy for how you want to go forward in 65 years and beyond. If you want to look at that, there's a really good app called Yucca, Y-U-K-A, that tells you about, you know, what's in labels, and you can point your camera at a barcode and it'll tell you what's in that food and do the rating of it, etc. Nutrients is another app that we use. You can look at like all the different minerals and vitamins, etc. in a piece of apple or whatever the case, okay? One last point, a lot of people don't know about gut bacteria, okay? Like gut bacteria, it's really, you know, probiotics. You have to realize that if you eat a lot of junk food and fast food, then the gut bacteria is going to change and it's going to start craving all that junk food, right? So if you find yourself craving and having the munchies for all this bad stuff, then it's probably because of your gut bacteria. So instead, you can get some new probiotics and keep feeding new good probiotics, good gut bacteria, to crowd out the bad gut bacteria, right? And what'll happen is you'll start craving better food because it's just like the culprit is the trillions or billions of gut bacteria in your intestines, okay? So just realize that, gut bacteria, okay? Enough on that. You can look it up yourself, okay? The other thing I want to say is that I'm wearing a t-shirt from the fall 2025 collection. It's brand new. And this one has all of the Black Five's team logos on the back. And so it becomes, or could become, a really great conversation starter, conversation piece. And the logos are beautiful. And I just wanted to say you can get that at the Black Fives online fan shop at shop.blackfives.org. Finally, I want to mention that in my next episode, I'm going to be talking about this beautiful item. It's the Nike Premium Leather Limited Edition New York Wrens Dunk High. This came from the Legacy of Inspiration collection, which was a Black Fives by Nike collaboration from back in 2003. And so I'm going to talk about that next time. It's just one of 5 dunks that were in that collection, which had 21 styles altogether. So who do you even know that has 5 of their own Nike dunks, right? Me, Claude Johnson. That's it. My take on whole self wellness, the part about food and hydration and nutrition. This is Claude Johnson from the Black Fives. Thanks for watching. Love you, and talk to you soon.